everybody, welcome back to Unbelievable English. Today, we're going to be talking about go nuts for donuts. And everybody goes nuts for donuts, especially in this game. Because in this game, we're trying to get and collect the most delicious set of donuts that we can. Now, this is a difficult thing to do because just like in real life, nobody wants to share donuts. And in this game, we're going to be playing what's called a silent auction to try to get the donuts that we want. So we're going to find the number of players that we have, and let's pretend that I've got 4 people that I'm playing with. Well, if I'm playing with 4 people, then I'm going to have 5 numbers set up for myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we, the 4 players, are going to be betting on trying to get these cards, these donuts, into our hands. Now, why are we doing this? Why are we going to make these choices? How are we going to decide which donut to eat? Well, every donut is a little bit different. And those differences mean that the collections that we're going to have are going to be different from each other. These cards, these donuts do all kinds of different things, and it's a lot of fun to figure out how to get the best combination of donuts. So all right, let's talk about this game. Let's talk about the components for this game. The most important components, of course, are the donuts. And depending on how many players you have, you're going to be using just these blue cards, or if you've got a full 6-player game, you're going to be using all 4 of these sets, the light blue, the pink, the purple, and the blue. But we're not worried about that right now. What we're worried about is what these cards have on them and why we would want to take them. So let's take a look at some of these donuts and see. Well, here's a powdered donut. And if you can get this powdered donut, it'll give you 3 points, no matter what. Powdered donuts, 3 points, pretty good. Plain donuts, they're only worth 1 point. But if you have the most plain donuts at the end of the game, you get 3 extra points for having that big set, that big collection of plain donuts. The chocolate frosted donut lets you take the top card from the donut deck. So you actually get 2 donuts when you take this card. And the maple bar is worth 3 points, but only if you have more than 6 types of donuts. Not 6 donuts, but 6 types of donuts. So, right now, I have 4 donuts, and I have 4 types of donuts. They're all different. But if I had 2 chocolate frosted donuts, then I would have 4 donuts and 3 types of donuts. Does that make sense? Okay. The eclair lets you take the top card from the discard pile, not from the donut deck. And then we have cards like the jelly-filled donut, which gives us a variable score depending on how many we have for the set. So if I have 3 jelly-filled donuts, I'll get 5 points. But if I have 4, I'll get 10 points. And then there are cards that let you do special things. The French cruller donut is worth 2 points, but it also lets you discard, throw away any number of donuts that you didn't take this round. So you can't throw this one away, but you could throw out other donuts from your deck. Why would you want to do that? Well, some of those donuts are worth negative points, and that's no good. You want to get rid of those. So, what other kinds of things do these donuts do? Well, if you take the sprinkled donut, you have to give one of your donuts to somebody else. If you take the red velvet donut, you can take any one card from the discard pile. You can go through all the donuts that were thrown away and you can choose one to keep. But it does give you minus 2 points at the end of the game, so you've got to be careful. The bear claw is a mean donut. The bear claw gives you -2 points, but it lets you take a card from another player. And then there's cards like the maple frosted donut. The maple frosted donut says that you get 5 points. That's a lot of points in this game, but only if you have the fewest cards total at the end of the game. If you have the smallest number of cards at the end of the game, 5 points. So all of these donuts do different things, and it's going to take a little bit of reading to really understand what each one does. But let's take a look at how the game plays and see if it's something that you want to try out. All right, guys, so we're all set up for our 4-player game. We've got 5 cards already dealt out. There's already been 1 round, so some cards have been discarded, thrown away. And what we're going to do is every player is going to look at what cards are available where. So right now, in slot number 1, there's a glazed donut available. Now, if you want that glazed donut, you'll choose your number 1 auction card and put it face down on the table to show everybody that you're ready to start the round. Everybody else is going to choose their cards. Now, I don't want that number 1. Let's see. I've made my choice. Everybody else seems to have made their choice too, so let's see. And we're always going to reveal our cards at the same time. We're always going to show our cards together. Uh-oh. And here's what's going to happen. We always start with number 1. Now, 2 different players wanted that glazed donut. And remember, in this game, we can't share. So nobody gets it. That glazed donut gets thrown away. Bye-bye. Wasted. Oh well. Nobody wanted the number 2 donut, the double chocolate donut, which lets you take 2 cards from the top. You choose 1 to keep and you put the other 1 back. But nobody wanted that one, so that goes in the trash too. The number 3 donut, nobody wanted that either. Now I wanted the number 4 donut. This is donut holes and it's a set. So the more donut holes I can get over the course of the game, the more points I'll get. So I get to take that and put that in front of me, and right now I have 1 point. And then player number 4, it's Gugu. Gugu takes the red velvet donut. And this says take any 1 card from the discard pile. So Gugu's going to lose 2 points because of this card, but she also gets to go back and look through that discard pile and see which card she wants. Now, there's something really important I have to tell you. When you take cards from the discard pile, any special abilities, they don't happen, they don't trigger. The only thing you can get from the discard pile is points. You're only going to get something like take any 1 card from the discard pile, like the red velvet. You're only going to get that when you take it from the auction. So taking a card from the discard pile like the double chocolate donut, that doesn't do you any good. You can't use it to take 2 cards. Not unless you're getting it from the auction. So we're going to ignore that one. Maybe the Boston Cream. Oh, here's a good one. I think Gugu wants the glazed donut. So Gugu now has 2 cards. And she has 0 points for right now because she has 1 card worth 2 points and 1 card worth -2 points. But hopefully, later in the game, she'll get a chance to throw away this card or give it to somebody else. And that's the basics of the game. We're going to be trying to silently, blindly, is the word we use, blindly choose a donut without knowing what anybody else wants and hoping that nobody else is taking the same donut that we want. Just like players 2 and 3 here, neither of them could get their number 1 donut, which was very sad. But that's the way it goes. And in this game, we're going to be collecting donuts until the entire donut deck is empty. Once the donut deck is empty, we'll stop, we'll count our points, and the winner is the player who has the most points. And that's really, very briefly, how you play Go Nuts for Donuts. Bye, guys. See you here next time at Unbelievable English.